अन्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरो श्रीयुतपदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगण रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं श्रीकृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधाकृष्णपादान् सहगणललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च। हे कृष्णा करुणा सिन्धो दीनबन्धो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिकान्त राधाकान्त नमोस्तुते। तप्त काञ्चन गौरांगी राधे वृन्दावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। नमो महावदान्याय कृष्ण प्रेम प्रदायिने कृष्णाय कृष्ण चैतन्य नाम्ने गौरत्विषे नमः। पंचतत्वात्मकं कृष्णं भक्तरूपस्वरूपकं भक्तावतारं भक्ताख्यं नमामि भक्तशक्तिकं। श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासदि गौर भक्तवृंदा। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। जन्माद्यस्य यतोऽन्वयादितरतश्चार्थे भिज्ञस्वराट् तेने ब्रह्महृदाय आदिकवये मुह्यन्ति यत्सूरयः। तेजो वारिमृदां यथा विनिमयो यत्र त्रिसर्गो मृषा धाम्ना स्वेन सदा निरस्तकुहकं सत्यं परं धीमहि। नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत्। स्वस्ति अस्तु विश्वस्य खलः प्रसीदतां ध्यायन्तु भूतानि शिवं मिथो धिया। मनश्च भद्रं भजतादधोक्षजे आवेश्यतां नो मतिरप्यहेतुकी। Reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 10, Chapter 10, verse number 23. So in the previous verses we read the bounding of Sri Krishna by Yashoda, and then she bound him with the mortar, and then she went to do her work. So at that time it is described that Krishna thought of uprooting the two trees, and they were two sons of Kubera, and their story was described how they were cursed by Narada Rishi. So now he describes how Krishna will deliver them. Sri Shuka Vacha. In the previous class somebody had a question, I think.
Yes, I have the question.
Yes.
So the question was, as far as I understood, that purpose of cursing sons of Kubera was not only so that they have enough time to think about their fault, but also to think that they will see Krishna himself, right?
Yes.
So that means that they knew who is Krishna.
Yeah, of course, Devas they know.
So it means that Devas usually, or of course, Devas know about the Godhead himself.
Yeah, they know God, they believe in God, because all the yajnas are performed to please the Devas. They may not know Krishna as Swam Bhagavan, but they at least know that he is Vishnu.
I see. Okay, thank you.
Somebody's whose mic is on? So Sri Shuka Uvacha Evamukta sa Devarshi Gato Narayana Ashramam Nalakubara Manigriva Vasturyam Larjano. So after speaking like this, which we read in the previous slokas, Devarshi Narada, he went to Narayana Ashram, which is in the Himalayas, because he was in that area. And then Nalkubar and Manigriva, they became the Arjuna trees. Asatu, Yamal Arjuna, twin. Yamala means twin. So not only human beings are twins, trees are also twins. So now they suddenly got transformed from their divine form to the tree form. So many times people think that we are human beings. Many people think this is the only life. Some people think that we take birth again, but we'll be human beings always. Human beings become human beings and dogs become dogs. But that's not true. Sometimes human beings become dogs and dogs become human beings. So we see here that they were in the Devi Yoni, now they are in the Vriksha Yoni. Why? Because this is their behavior was like that. They were behaving like trees, not sensitive to human beings, or especially says Narada. So Rishair Bhagavat Mukhyasya Satyam Kartum Vacho Harihi Jagama Shankaistattra Yatrastam Yamalarjuno. So now we come back to the story which was described in the previous chapter, that Krishna was bound. The ropes were around his belly and he is tied to this mortar. And then his friends were standing there. So they were saying, today you got trapped, boss, because he was the boss he was the leader. So he says, what is to be done now? So every day we went around, we played so many tricks, we never got caught. But here we see that you are in this situation and we cannot help you. So he says, don't worry, let's play. Because everything is a play for him. So he said, they said, well, how we play? He says, I'm going to become a bull and I'm going to pull it and you push it. So we'll just play, like children play, they take something, they start pushing, pulling it. So he says, I'm going to go on my knees and hands and I will pull it and you ride from behind and this will be our car. It's like we roll it. So they started doing that. So here the sloka says that Rishair Bhagavat Mukhyasya Satyam Kartum Vachohari. That Krishna at that time, he is now coming in little Aishwarya Bhav also. So he understood that these two trees who are standing, which were standing there, they are sons of Kubera and they were cursed by great devotee Narada Rishi. So he is called here as Bhagavata Mukhya, means chief of the Bhagavatas or devotees, and a sage. So to come his words true, because he said that you become trees, but you will have darshan of Krishna. So therefore, to make his words come true, he decided to go there. So Jagama Sankai, so slowly, because he cannot run with it. So he is slowly pulling it. And Yatra Astam Yamalarjuna. So where did he go? He went where these two trees were standing, the twin trees. Devarshir me priyatama yadimau dhanadaatmajau tattatha sadhishyami yadgitam tan mahatmana. So he says that this Devarshi Narada is very, very dear to me. Priyatama is most dear to me. And therefore now I will perform or act in a way that I will bring his words true, the words Yad Gitam Tan Mahatmana, the words which were spoken by that great devotee Narada. So about these two sons of Dhanada, Atmaja, the sons of Dhanada or Kubera. So I will do that. So this shows how Krishna is under the control of his devotee, and that is because he loves them. So just as in the material world also it is seen that if you love somebody, then you become controlled by that person, and that person also becomes controlled by you. That is the very nature of love. So Krishna is therefore obliged to do this, because these words were pronounced by Devarshi Narada. So just like he says in Bhagavad Gita, Konte pratijanihi namad bhakta pranashyati, that you proclaim. So Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur is saying that why is Krishna saying you proclaim? He could have himself said it, that to Arjuna, you should know that my devotee never perishes or never falls down. So why he is saying to Arjuna that you say it? So this to show that Krishna will never ever make his devotee's word false. Sometimes he can transgress his own words, as he did in Kurukshetra war, but his devotee's word, he will make sure that it comes true. So that shows his affection, his love, and his control by his devotee. So that's what Shukdev said, that Evam Sandarsita Rajan, that this is how Krishna has shown Bhakta Vashyata, that how he is controlled by his bhaktas. So his two shlokas he is mentioning this, that Satyam Kartum Vacha, to make his words true, and again Sadhishyami Yad Gitam Tan Mahatmana, that I will now bring it true or do what he wanted it. So Prastutamaha, so he is describing the story which we read in the previous chapter. Yad yasmat devarshir me priyastama. So yat he means yasmat, because Devarshi Narada is very dear to me. So tasmad imau tatha sadhishyami yad yatha tena mahatmana gitam ityanvay. Therefore now I will act in a way that whatever Devarshi Narada has said will come true. So he is liberating the sons of Kubera is primarily because of Narada's words. So this is the philosophy of Bhagavatam also, which comes in the commentaries, and Jiva Goswami also talks of this in detail in Bhakti Sandarbha, that bhakti comes by the grace of bhakta, because Krishna gives it through his devotees. So satsangena hi daitaya nagamiga khaga nara. So Krishna tells this to Uddhava that it is only by satsanga that the yakshas, rakshasas, daitayas, human beings, khaga, mriga, birds, animals, they got devotion only by satsanga. And then he gives the whole list of various species. So that is the process of getting bhakti, by satsanga. So iti antarena arjunayoho krishnastu yamayor yayau atmanirvesha matrena triyagatam ulukhalam. So after this he went in between the Arjunas. So generally you hear of one Arjuna, Arjuna of Bhagavad Gita. Here there are two Arjunas. You must have some specific liking for Arjuna word. So iti antarena arjunayo krishnastu yamayor yayav. So Krishna went in between two Arjunas. So Arjunayor Yamayo, the twin Arjunas, and Atma Nirvesha Matrena Triyagatam Ulukhalam. So only he was able to go through it, because these two twin trees, they were very intimately standing, as if they are having a dialogue with each other, like when you talk to somebody, you stand close, face to face. So they both were standing there. So only he could pass and not the Ulukhala. So this Ulukhala, it got stuck there. So that's what it says, Triyagatam Ulukhalam, that this Ulukhala got turned and got stuck there. इति विचारेय यमयो सहजातयोर द्वयोर अंतरेण मध्य ययो. So thinking like this, what is described in the previous two slokas, then Krishna, he went in between the two Arjuna trees. Tatascha atmanah pravesha matrena ulukhalam triyagatam tiraschanim abhot. So when he entered, then the Ulukhala, the mortar, got stuck there. So then, this is what he wanted. If he had to really go, he could have bypassed them. There was enough space. He didn't have to enter, but he wanted this. He goes through this, and the mortar gets stuck in it. So balena niskarshayataanvagulukhalam damodarena tarsautkalitangri bandhau nispetatu paramavikramite ati vepa skandha prabala vitpau kritachandra shabdau. So balena niskarshataya anvag ulukhalam tat. So then this young boy, he started pulling. He did not think that this Ulukhala is stuck, so let me come back and go the other way. No, he says, I have to go through this only. So he started pulling. Anvag Ulukhalam, that Ulukhala, which was bent and stuck there. So who was this Bala? His name is Damodara. Now he got the name Damodara. He is no more Krishna. So Damodarena Tarsa Utkalita Angri Bandha. So he by force he pulled. So then he uprooted them. Utkalita means uprooted. And from where he uprooted them? From the root. Angri Bandha. The feet of the trees, which is the root. So both the trees they fell down, Nispetatu. So Papata, Petatu, Pepu, Petu. There are two of them, so Nispetatu. Parama Vikramita Ativepa. So then they fell down because they have been pulled by a strong, powerful person, young boy, Krishna. So they shook. Obviously they are going to fall down, they are shaking. Means it's not that he just went and they fell down. He got stuck, he pulled, they did not come, he came back, he pulled, came back. So the trees, he was loosening them. Right? If something is deep, you shake it up and down, it becomes loose. So Parivikrimitati Vepa, and then Skandha Pravala Vitapau, Krita Chanda Shabda, and then they fell down, making a terrible sound with their Skandha Pravala Vitapau, and everything was shaking. Previously the branches, the leaves, the trunk. So and then both the big trees they fell onto the ground. So tat tirashinam eva ulukhalam anvak swanukulam yatha syat tatha nisheshena karshata balena utkalita utpatita angri bandho yayasta. So therefore at that time this Ulukhala, which was Tirashina, which was bent, it was not straight but turned 90 degrees to the rope, and he made it favorable to it so that he can pull the trees. He adjusted that they will all come out, the trees. And then Nisseshena Karshata, then with strength, all his strength, he was pulling it. Balena Utkalita, Utpatita, so they got uprooted, Angri Bandhav, from the feet or their root. Parama Vikramitena, Ati Balena, Akarshanena, so because he pulled them with great strength, so they were shaking, ati kampamana. Skandhadayo yayostau damodarani. So their branches, they were all shaking. And who is he? He is Damodara. So then Sri Vishwanath Chakravarti quotes a sloka from Harivansh Purana about his name Damodara. Sacha tenev namna tu Krishna vai dam bandhanat goshthe damodara iti gopi bhi parigiyate. So because he was bound by the rope, he got the name Damodara, got one new name, and then gopis started calling him by that name. Maybe they were teasing him for that. The friends like to tease, right? So he is Damodar. So then he became Damodar. So Damodar is, Dam means rope, in Hindi Dam means money. So Damodar means belly full of wealth. In Hindi there is a saying, Damodar बैठे रहें, दाम करें सब काम. You heard this? He says Damodar doesn't do anything. It is the dam which does calm. So Damodar also means rich guy. So rich guy sits and his money does the job. So he got the name Damodar. Tatra Shriya Paramaya Kakubha Spurantau Siddha Bhupetya Kujyoriva Jata Vedaha Krishnam Pranamya Sirshakhila Lokanatham Baddhanjali Virajasa Vidamuchatusma. So when the trees were uprooted, then what happened is that two Siddha Purushas came. So Siddhau Spurantau Kakubhaya Paramayasriya. They were very effulgent, like the fire. Jatavedas is name of the fire. So Kujyoriva. So they were trees, but now from the trees came two Siddha Purushas or Mahapurushas, and they were very effulgent, so all the directions became effulgent by their brilliance. They bowed down to Krishna, Krishnam Pranamya Sirsa, putting their head on the ground. Who is Krishna? Akhila Lokanath, the master of all the loka. Baddhanjali Virajasa Idamu Chatusma. And they had their palms joined, and now their Virajasa. So their Rajasa was gone, their pride. So now they are the same person who did not join their palms and pay respect to Narada. So now they are doing it, because now they are not in that state of intoxication. So it says Baddhanjali Virajasa Idamu Chatusma. So they recited the following prayers to Krishna. So that is described in the upcoming verses. So Kakubho Vyapya Spurantav. Kakubho means directions. Kakubho Kashta Disha. So their effulgence was spreading all around. Spurantav Kujyor Vikshayo Jata Veda Agnir. So Kuja is Vriksha. Ku means Prithvi, Ja means born in earth. That is Kuja. Kuja is also a name of Chandra. Moon is Mangal. Mangal is called Kuja. You don't know? No? So Kuja is also named the Mangal, because Mangal is son of earth. So Kuja also means tree. Here it means tree, because there are two Kujayo. Mangal is only one. So Mars is also called Kuja. Vrikshayo Jataveda Agnir Mitho Jyotir Milnad Ekeva Jataveda Vasturanta. So why Jatveda is used here in singular and not in dual? The Jatveda is singular, although it looks like plural, because the word is Jatvedas. So it becomes Jataveda, Jatavedaso, Jatavedasa. So why one Jataveda, not Jatavedaso? So he says because their effulgence got merged into each other, and therefore it is one. So Jyotir Milnad Ekeva Jataveda. Jataveda is also fire, Agni Dev. So there appeared as if the fire god has come there. So this is the prayer they recited. Krishna Krishna Mahayogin Stvamadya Purusha Paraha Vyakta Vyaktamidam Vishwam Rupam Te Brahmana Viduhu. So they said, O Krishna, O great yogi, you are the original transcendental Purusha, Adya Purusha Para. And this universe manifest and unmanifest, because some things are manifest in the universe. Right? Science says that 96% is unmanifest, the dark energy. So there is a Vyakta part and Avyakta. Vyakta Vyaktamidam Vishwam Rupam Te Brahmana Vidu. The Brahmanas, they know that this universe, manifest and unmanifest, is only your Rupa, your form, your energy, your Swarupa. So Lukhale Baddham Gopal Balam Mam Yuvam Devo Kimiti Pranatau iti ahato. So as if Krishna is asking them that I am bound with this mortar, my belly is tied with the rope, and I am just a Gopal, I am a cowherd boy, and you are Devas. So why are you bowing down to me? Right? Generally it is other way around. Human beings, they pray to the Devas. But you are Devas and I am a human child. And that also I am not some Brahmana or anything. I am not even Kshatriya, I am a Gopal Bal. So what is the reason for you to bow down to me? So then they are saying, Krishna, Krishna. That you are not Gopal Bal, but you are Mahayogi. And you are Adya Purusha, you are the first Purusha. And first Purusha also, you are not material, but you are Para, you are transcendental. So that's how they pray. So Krishna Krishna iti dvitvam dayoreva yukpadukte. So why Krishna twice? Because they both said, one said Krishna, other also said Krishna. So it became double. But rest of the sloka is together. So first one said Krishna, then the second one said Krishna, and together they said Mahayogis Tvam Adya Purusha. So Tvam Paraha Purusho Bhagavan. So you are the Paraha Purusha, you are the supreme person, means you are Bhagavan. And Tatrapi Adyaha. And there also you are Adyaha Purusha, means you are the Swam Bhagavan. Krishnastu Bhagavan Swam. Atastvam Gopal Balo Bhavsi Eva iti Bhava. So therefore you are Gopal Bal by your own will only. You can be anything. You are this whole universe. So what is the problem for you to be Gopal Bal? If you can become the universe, you can also become Gopal Bal. So therefore he says that Atastvam Gopal Balo Bhavasya eva iti Bhava. He Mahayogin Achintya Prabhava. So you are Mahayogi, which means that your prowess is inconceivable. No one can know how powerful you are. You are a small boy, but you uprooted these two big trees. It is nothing for you. Asman mochakasya tav etad bandhan karanam atarkyam iti bhava. So why they are saying this? He says that you have delivered us, but you yourself are bound. So he says this is atarkya, this is illogical. Because if your hands are bound, then you cannot release somebody else. If everybody is bound, then how they katham asiddha aparam sadhayati. So if I am conditioned myself, how I can liberate someone else? Right? conditioned person cannot give liberation. So you are bound and you made us free from the bondage. So this is Achintya, therefore you are Mahayogi. You cannot fathom your prowess. Only you can do such a thing. Sarvaswarupasya tav kena bandhanam sambhaved iti ahatu. And since you are everything, what can bind you? This whole universe is your manifestation. So how can this rope bind you? Say this is another illogical thing. So there are two illogical things. One is that you are bound and you are liberating us. How is this possible? If somebody locks you in a room and then there is another person who is locked in another room, how will you open that room's door? It's not possible. So this is the first thing, and the second is that you are bound, that is also illogical. That you are the whole universe, then how you got bound? Because rope is just a part of the universe. So how this rope is binding you, says we don't understand this. So vyakta vyaktam karya karnatmakam. So vyakta here is in the sense that both the cause and the effect, you are both. Sada sadatmakam. So whatever is manifest, that is also you. And what is the unmanifest, from which the manifest has come, that is also. So sarvam khalu idam brahma, vasudeva sarvam iti. So this is the meaning, that everything is only you. So there is nothing besides you. Tvamekah sarvabhutanam देहास्वात्मेन्द्रियैश्वरः त्वमेव कालो भगवान् विष्णुरव्ययैश्वरः त्वं महान् प्रकृतिः सूक्ष्मा रजः सत्त्वतमोमयी त्वमेव पुरुषोऽध्यक्षः सर्वक्षेत्रविकारवित्. So they are just describing. So in Bhagavatam, this is, you will see that Krishna's stories come, and then in between somebody is brought in to pray. So this is how you see. Krishna came, and before he came the Devas prayed. Then when he was born, Vasudeva and Devaki prayed. Now these are praying. So somebody or the other keeps coming. So this is just to make sure that you don't forget who is he. Otherwise you get absorbed in the story and you forget he's just a cowherd. He is cowherd, but there is a lot behind that. So this is just to remind, because people in Kali Yuga have short memory. Right? Mandasu mandamatiyo mandabhagya padat. So therefore he brings Tvamekah sarvabhutanam deha swatmendriyeshwaraha. So he says that sarvabhutanam, that of all the living beings, you are the Ishvara of their body, their life, their Atma, Indriya, anything. Of all beings, you are the master. And only one. So means there is no one besides you. Then somebody even say, well, the time is actually the controller, everything is controlled by time. Right? So Kala, Kalayati Kala, which controls everybody. So he says, time you are time, Tvameva Kala. Kala is not separate from you, it is not independent of you. Because there is only one tattva, We have to know this, that it is not that there are different tattvas. So there is only one, although sometimes it is described as Prakriti. Like if you read Bhagavad Gita, then cause is Prakriti, karma is the cause, Ishvara is the cause, different causes are described. So the ultimate cause is only Krishna, but then he manifests at different levels. So here also we see in the material world, you eat food, so you may say, what is the cause? Well, that came from the kitchen, so that is the cause. But then beyond that came, the raw material came from the shop. Beyond that, somebody produced it. So many causes. So therefore sometimes the explanation is given only considering a particular cause-effect relationship and not beyond that. And then people start getting confused by that. So when it is said Krishna is the cause, then they'll say, well, then he is transforming into all this. So that is also not true. So there are various levels of causes, and we have to understand that. Sometimes the cause is my fate, cause is some deva, and it's difficult if some problem is coming to me that it is my karma, it's caused by you, right? You did something, that's why I'm having this problem. So many levels. So then he says, Kal, the time is also you, Bhagavan, because you are Bhagavan, Vishnu, and you are Avyaya. Although you manifest all this, but you don't undergo any transformation, or you do not become less. Otherwise, if there is a cause and that cause transforms into something, then the original stock gets reduced by that much. If you have 1 ton of rice and you take out 500 gram and cook it, then the stock is less by 500 gram. So he is not like that. He is inexhaustible, aware, and Ishvara, and still he remains in control. Tvam Mahan, you are the Mahatattva, you are Prakriti, Sukshma, all this Chitta, Ahankara, etc. Raja, Sattva, Tamomai. So Prakriti, which consists of the 3 gunas, that is also you. And Tvameva Purusha, the Purusha, he manifests as Mahapurusha, which inspires Prakriti to transform. And you are the Adhyaksha and Sarva Kshetra Vikaravit. And you also know all the transformations which happen in the kshetras. Right? Kshetragyam chapi mam vidhi sarva kshetreshu bharate. Idam shariram kaunteya kshetra iti abhidhiyate. So there he says that he is also the kshetragya. So this is what it means, kshetra vikaravit. So kshetra, our body, undergoes various changes. Asti jayate, vardhate, viparmanate, shayati, vinashyati cha. All these shadvikaras, they happen in the kshetra. So he knows all that. न च त्वदन्नो अन्यो बंधका कोपि ईश्वरो अस्ति इति आहत. So he says that not only that you liberate, you also bind. There is no one else besides you who are the bandhaka, who is the cause of bondage, and you are the Ishvara of everything. So it is not that God, all the good things are coming from God, all the bad things are coming from Lucifer. No, it's everything from him only. Aham sarvasya prabha. Krishna says, I am the source of everything, good, bad. Sukha, Dukha, Bhava, Abhava, Janma, Mrityu, right? Everything from him. So therefore he says, you are the also Bandhaka. So he is the liberator, he is also the giver of the bondage. Asavaha prana, asava means the life, Atma means ahankara, Sarvatmakatvat tvameva eka ishvara iti ahatatvamiti. And because you are Sarvatmaka, you are manifest as everything, therefore you are the only one Ishvara. Because if there are two Ishvaras, then they will fight with each other. They will have trouble, right? So many people think that in India there are many gods. And that's not true. If there are many gods, they will be fighting by now. There is only one God, Eka Eva Ishvara. Ekala Ishwar Krishna, or Sabhritya. So only one Ishvara, that is Krishna. Everybody else is his manifestation. They are sometimes described as his angas, as limbs, or his assistants, or his manifestations. Different words are used. But Ishvara is only one. There cannot be two Ishvaras even theoretically. So Kalo Nam Tav Cheshta. So what is Kala? Kala is your chesta, your action. Chestate yena vishvam. So by which the whole universe moves, that is called his chesta. Chesta is difficult to translate. Effort, endeavor, but it is not something physical. It's just his will, like his sankalpa. Sayattam kalamahu chestate yena vishwam. So this is Tav chesta mahan. So because of your chesta, the mahan mahatattva, which is coming from Prakriti, Karyam, Shakti, Purusho, Amsa. So Prakriti is your Shakti, Mahan is your Karya. So there is Vastu Karya, Vastu Shakti and Vastu Amsha. All is him. Vedyam Vastamatra Vastu Shivadam Tapatrayonamulinam. Bhagavatam says that you should know the Vastav Vastu, means the real object here. So that Vastav Vastu has got Karya, which is this material world. He has got his Shakti, energy. He has got his Amsas, the Jivas. He has also got his expansions. So they are all coming from one Vastu only. That is being described. You are also the Adhyaksha, means Antaryami. So you are not only outside but also inside. So you are the inner controller and also the external supervisor. Sarveshu kshetreshu deheshu vikaran manayadin veti. And you are sarva kshetra vikaravit. Right? Sarva kshetra vikaravit. So various types of vikaras, the changes, the transformations which are happening, whether they are happening in the physical body or in the mind. So at the subtle level, so they are known to him. If you have thoughts, wishes, desires, sankalpas, all this is known to him. So that is the meaning of also being Antaryami, because he is in everything. Ato Vishnu. Therefore you are Vishnu. So Vishnu, Vishnuli, Praveshna, who enters into everything is Vishnu. Praveshna or Vyapnoti, Vishnu, which pervades everything, which enters into everything, that is Vishnu. So he is inside, he is outside, and therefore everything is under his control. So this is what people do not understand or don't want to understand. They think they are the controller, or they think they can control, and they work so much to control, but it doesn't happen that way. You cannot change the reality. You can know the reality, you cannot change it, because reality is avyaya. It cannot be changed. It is not prone to change. So the only thing you can do is you can understand, know, and then act accordingly. So that's what is being described. Ato Vishnu Ishvara Eko Bhagavan Tvameva. Therefore you are the only one Ishvara, one Bhagavan, one controller, and there is no one else beyond you. So there is more slokas, we will read them in the next class. Any question? Yes.
Okay, I have a couple of questions, maybe starting with the last verse. So in the commentary he says asava prana, so as if he's explaining the word asava, but I couldn't find it in the Mula, in the edition that I'm seeing. Do you have it?
He must have a different reading.
Okay. And then I was wondering about this one sentence in the commentary on verse 29, where he says,
Maybe this Deha and Svatmendriya, he probably reads as Deha Svatmendriya. Maybe different reading.
okay. So I would be interested about the word, what the meaning of Svarupa here in this commentary on 29. So Sarva Svarupasya Tava Kena Bandhana Sambhavet.
Means you are manifest in everything.
So does it mean that he is the Svarupa of everything, or the Svarupa of everything is him, or?
Everything is his Swarupa. If somebody has to bind you, then they have to bind you with something which is different from you. Right? You cannot bind yourself with yourself. Okay, you can put your hands like this, but you are not bound like that. But if everything is you only, if everything is your Swarupa, then who is going to bind you? So that's the meaning of Swarupa.
Okay, so Svarupa here means it cannot be separated from him. So
it is not
everything
separate from him. It is his manifestation only.
I see.
So how it will bind?
Okay. And I was wondering about the Devastuti. I was wondering, is there any commentary, description, or any deliberation on who, like from the Devas, who was there and who spoke it? Was Kuvera also there, or even his sons? Or
No, these two sons only.
I mean the Devastuti that was spoken before Krishna came
that
to
was Brahma.
Okay.
Brahma was the head, and others joined him.
Okay. So this would not mean that Nala, Kuvara and Manigriva or their father, that they were present?
No,
Probably not.
could be.
Okay, could be.
At least Kubera, if not the sons. Because when Brahma comes, then all these have to follow. Just like if president of the country comes to some place, then all the local officers will come there or not? They have to come. So if Brahma comes here on earth, and all the Indra and Varuna and all the in charge, because they are all working under Brahma, so they will follow him. Cannot be staying in their place and Brahma is here. That's the protocol.
Maybe last question. So I saw now that there seems to be, just looking at the verbs here, there seems to be a lot of adhokshaja, lit, lakar, which is used for something that happened in the past that was not witnessed by the speaker. We had this uchatuhu, petatuhu, and so on. So what I find interesting here is that
Because Sukdev is describing it.
Yep.
Sukdev is not witnessed, right?
So he described it because he heard it from Sutta.
Yeah, just like you describe it to somebody, then you will describe it in the little akar only.
But is there any so I think in other places this particular past tense is not used, and they also use other past tenses. So is there any reason why something is more, or does it convey any special meaning, or
The meaning is this only: if you are not the witness, then you use little akar. But they are also general. If you want to specifically make that clear, then you use that. Otherwise, you have the lang lakar, you have in general. Bhutesh, Bhuteshwar. Anyadyatan, if it is not today's past, then you use Bhuteshwara. But generally when you are telling historical statements, mostly it is used adhokshaja, which is called little akar. That's the standard.
but it's not such a fixed rule, because these speakers here in Bhagavatam, they use all kinds of, I mean, I didn't do any analysis, but it seems
the
that
rule is this only: that generally things which are of remote past, then lit is used for that. Any other question?
Yes, Pranam Babaji, Radheshyam.
Yes.
Yes, Babaji. So while in Braja, as you said, that Krishna even forgets that he is Swayam Bhagavan.
Yes.
Right? So how come he knows that when he saw those two Arjuna trees, that they were cursed by Narada and he needs to liberate them?
So the reason is that he has to make Narada's words come true.
Okay.
So that is very important part. So then the Shakti, his Aishwarya Shakti becomes manifest.
Okay. Yeah.
Any other question?
Dear Babaji Maharaj, Namo Namaha. I had one question regarding the notion of Krishna or his quality of being the source of everything which is positive and negative or good and evil. Does it refer to one's actions? And if it is so does it mean that Krishna has both desires which are dharmic and anharmic? But in his case, his activities or his desires do not entail any result, like he says in Bhagavad Gita, na me karma phales priha. Is it correct? Or what is the scale of value which decides which is good and which is evil?
No, in his case there is no dharma or adharma. Just like if you are on the sun planet, there is no day or night, it's all light. This duality does not exist in him. That's why he is only one tattva. His front, his back, his top. His back side is adharma, his front side is said to be dharma, but it is he only. Right? When you read the description, then it is said that his front side is dharma and his back side is adharma. That is for us. But what is his front, what is his back? It is also said that there is nothing above. He does not have inside or outside. He doesn't have front or back, top or down. Everywhere. So it is only from our point of view that this is dharma or it is adharma. He doesn't have any dharma or adharma. He is beyond that.
So when it's said that he is the source of
This
good
is
and evil,
from our point of view, because we are the one who make that distinction of good and evil.
okay, thank you.
So I'll stop.